Hello. Good. How are you? It's a good day. Today is an auspicious day because 21st is an auspicious day for us, and today is Monday and the 7th month. All things combined together, and it's very auspicious evening. So today I'll talk to you about auspiciousness because most of you are Sahaja Yogis who has come for the first time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 there. So we have for the first time. All right. I'm sure somebody has talked to them about introduction to Sahaja Yoga or something, huh? And to make it short, the whole thing I don't want to repeat. As I was thinking of talking on a new subject to the Sahaja Yogis. As you know, all of you, and you can see around also, that there's a very big amorous search for the truth. There is. I mean, even in this hall, you'll be amazed. There might be 5, 6 halls like these, where everybody is sitting in some hall and doing something about it. I mean, there is, no doubt, a very big urge to seek the truth. This urge has come through our own evolutionary understanding. When human beings have reached a certain stage of sagacity, you can call it, or a satisfaction, like when you have achieved a certain amount of material well-being, or have seen something which doesn't give you a complete answer, like Buddha. Like Buddha, when he saw an old man and then a dead man, he was puzzled at it. He was very much puzzled. And he started wondering, what is this death? And why a human being becomes an old man? There was a prophecy about him when he was a child that he may become an ascetic or he may give up his family life to find the truth. He might do that. And the parents were worried, and father arranged for him a very big palace with all the things available and a very beautiful wife and a child. But still from inside he had a feeling of some incompleteness, of meaningless of life. And with that meaningless feeling, once he saw a very, very old man and then a dead man. And this just went into his head. This was 2000 years back, more than that. But today there are many Buddhas living. when his first name was Siddhartha. Siddhartha itself is a very beautiful name, Siddha Artha, the one who has mastered his meaning. The beginning of the name itself was very suggestive. But then he became the Buddha, the enlightened. But you are all Siddharthas who are seeking the truth. He also went to Upanishads and he also went to many people. He went to Benares and he was so disillusioned the way the people were in Benares. He found there was no religion in them, there was no God in them, there was no goodness in them. And they were making money out of all this. Then he went to some gurus and this and that, and everywhere he found that they did not know the truth. He got tired, very tired. He had given up everything just in the search of truth. And he was so tired, absolutely tired, lay down under a tree, a banyan tree. We call it the Ashwatha. And then Sahaja Yoga itself is a spontaneous awakening of the Kundalini took place, and he got his realization. But that time there was no Mataji Nirmala Devi to tell him that how he got it, where was his Kundalini. He just felt the cool breeze coming in him and he felt his self when he started talking about it and telling people. He felt that because I gave up everything, that is why it has worked so. It was a mistake, I would say, or a misunderstanding. Because what do you give up? Whatever you hold on to. What is there to give up? All these stones? What? What is their value? And this giving up is also a mental idea, just a mental idea. If you are not holding on to anything, what are you going to give up? So this idea of giving up came to him because he thought that this must be the reason. Supposing if I have to come to Caxton Hall, I go all the way to Tottenham Boat Road, and then I go to East End and then come down here. So if anybody comes to ask me the way, I'll say, all right, go to Tottenham, then to East End, and then through the traffic you can land up here. But it's only 2 minutes drive from my house. So it was that kind of a misunderstanding which led him to think that there is no God. In a way, it was a misstep, because if you talk of God suddenly, even today if I say there is God, how are you to believe? You can believe your vibrations, you can believe there's a cool breeze coming in, you can see the Kundalini rising, you can see the pulsation of that. But how can you say that there is God? Because I say there is. Because it is pervading. And whatever I say, now you can test it on your vibration. Now how will you know that these vibrations are telling you the truth? It is very simple if you understand the common sense of relativity. Like, bring 2 mad people from lunatic asylum, absolutely certified as mad, alright? And then, Paul is laughing, and then get 2 sane people sitting down. Now you put your hands towards the people who are mad, and you will get horrible burning in here, maybe in here, maybe in the whole hand, on the left side. And they themselves, before my photograph, would be going on like this. Many go, even they look sane, but they many like that. All fanatics, all extremists, all sorts of people, they go on like this. Spiritualists, again, druggists, chemists, cancer patients. It's different frequency, different style in every way. Alright. So you get 10 cases like that. Now you ask the question, is there God? And you start getting cool breeze flowing. Is His power all pervading? You start getting a cool breeze flowing. That is how you find out which is the truth. Whether what I am saying, what vibrations are telling, is the truth or not. That is how you can test your vibration. This search is on, and there are many shops people have opened. This is not a shop, this is a temple. And a temple in the marketplace has a very little value. If you have to climb up 7 mountains to go to a temple, it has much more value. But only few can reach there alive. So the temple had to come down to London, to Caxton Hall, to talk to people. But in the marketplace, if you have a temple, you can notice that people just go in the marketplace, purchase something. Before going, they may throw one anna there, thinking, oh Lord, give me some profit when I am going there. And while coming back, they will throw another 5 annas there, saying that, oh, all right, you have helped me, all right, 5 p's, all right, for your sake, because I have got some profit I am giving. Because they have a mentality of marketing. Even with God, they bargain. The mentality is of marketing. Of most of the people, must be. But among them are real people also. Many, many real people are there who are misled. Because they see the crowds going, thousands of people going there, they are also misled. Ultimately, all those who are true seekers will receive their realization. Even those who are not will receive. But first, those who are seeking at the foundation stones, they have to build up themselves in such a way that this big edifice could be raised on its back, on its foundation stone. You people have to be such strong Sahajogis, that from your own life, others would take the lessons and understand that this is something that has really transformed people, because the time of judgment has come and of transformation. The last judgment is not direct, but through transformation. It does not fail much. If you do not fail it, it is not going to fail. It is going to work out. All sorts of permutations and combinations, it has worked out. All sorts. Now there is no horrible guru I have not tried. Of course, sometimes I hear some new names from somebody. The other day I heard something new, some other name. But he is another funny thing, he is teaching people, I don't know, something very horrid he is teaching people. And maybe he may be successful for a short time, but ultimately those who are true seekers will definitely come. Those who are supporting these wrong organizations will also come to Sahaja Yoga. Because they will recognize that by supporting these people, what are we going to gain? We are going to go to hell. They will see their gurus how they are behaving. Ultimately they will come. Of course, for the time being they do not. Sometimes it's quite frustrating. For example, in Norwich, we met two ladies, elderly, quite elderly, but without any common sense. And they said, no, we have a guru who has given us a name. I said, why do you need a guru for that? You can pick up on the streets. A donkey can give you a name. And what is the name they have been given? One of the disciples of this guru told me a name has been given called as Thinga, means a thumb. If you show somebody a thumb, it is Thinga. Just imagine, it's not even Sanskrit. I said, he doesn't know even Sanskrit. Now he's been found out with 6 women around him, and he's got keeps, and he's taking Scotch whiskey. All that, he's busy here. They said, still. I said, still, how long will you go on like that? Of course, some common sense will come into it. So these things are there, existing. But the true ones will understand the true nature of Sahaja. It is so nice to see all of you here, because we are going to have a very nice 27th is the day when we are initiating you as gurus. That's the day you will be initiated as gurus. And special powers will be given to you on that day. But our intellect is to be little bit brought low, and our heart is to be little bit raised high. If we could do that, then we'll be able to create auspiciousness about us. Now I must tell you about auspiciousness. What is auspicious? This word people know. This is not auspicious, that is not auspicious. If you find the horse's horseshoe, it is auspicious. Now do you know, in modern times, the symbol of Sahaja Yoga is a horseshoe shaped. Can you imagine? It has many meanings. But why that shape is auspicious, people did not know. People do not know why a thing is auspicious and a thing is not auspicious. Now this has been in England. For years people were using horseshoe as an auspicious thing, and it is 100%. The shape of a horseshoe emits vibration. You can see for yourself. The shape of that horseshoe is the shape how the Shakti moves, how the power moves, always like this. Elliptical, like that. It goes to a person, say, if I love this person, the vibrations will go like this and embrace her and then come. The first movement is this way. The first dimension is like that, but this can be 360 degrees it moves. The whole creation took place by the movement of the Shakti like this. That's why they sometimes see it parabolic, see like Einstein has been talking about it. But they see partial truth, not the whole. Now, when you have a shape or a form or a kind of assemblage of certain factors in a particular material, could be a particular tree, could be a human being, then you find from that person only the realized souls can feel vibrations coming. Because whatever emits vibration is auspicious. And auspiciousness is the quality by which we emit vibration. Now, purity is a very relative word in the modern times. People don't understand what is purity. I mean, they don't understand even what is normal, leave alone purity. Everybody seems to be abnormal or subnormal in modern times. Nobody seems to be normal. Even the psychologists can't define what is normal is. Normal is that which is auspicious. Now, this is the knowledge of the beyond. With whatever senses you have, you cannot feel it. For example, I went to Stonehenge. Now you all know that there's something about Stonehenge, you know that there's something is about them. But what about them? These are the stones which have come out of Mother Earth, which are emitting vibrations. And the covering of that has been done later on. Some people must have, they did not understand how these stones have come out one after another. So they must have used to cover it. But if there were saints, they would have said that this is a stone which has got vibration. For example, when we say that we should not worship any statues in the Bible, it's very correct. Because it has said that whatever is created by Mother Earth or by the sky should not be reproduced. So Mother Earth is producing something. Now ask the Christians, what are they producing? What is the element that is the earth is producing? What is the sky is producing? They will not be able to tell you. What is this Mother Earth producing? Which should not be reproduced. Which should not be worshipped. Means something she is producing which should be worshipped, and that should not be reproduced. This auspiciousness can only be felt by people who are realized souls, or people who are sensitive to spirituality. Those who are not sensitive to spirituality cannot feel it. They do not understand. They may like a person very much because I like. But why? Why do you like a person very much and you do not like another person? That person may be any type, they will say, no, we like. But children, not all, but many children can feel the auspiciousness. Dogs can feel it. Rats can feel it. Snakes can feel it. Tigers can feel it. Lions can feel it. But human beings are rather difficult. Horses can feel it. Horses feel it very much. If you take them near a place where there are spirits, or we can say some sort of a burial ground, they would not like to go down there much. First they would resist. But gradually they also get used to it. Same with dogs. They can feel it, a man who is a realized soul, who is not a realized soul. They can even feel an evil person. They are very sensitive. A dog can always feel a saint. Even a mad dog can be controlled by a saint. This auspiciousness, the feeling of auspiciousness, can be felt through heart. It's the feeling from the heart, not from the brain. Not from the ego or super-ego. Means either we get ideas from our ego or from our super-ego, from our conditioning. But if our heart is alive, which is a very rare thing nowadays, most of us have got hearts like frozen, I would not say, like Rock of Gibraltar. Because frozen can be, you see, can be defrosted. So such a heart, Rock of Gibraltar is living here, you see. And you meet another person and you feel that another is going to just bang on you with that Rock of Gibraltar. I don't know if you have visited Rock of Gibraltar any time. I have. One day we were flying on a ship, you see. And suddenly our ship stopped. And what I found is a huge big rock in it. I said, what sort of a thing it is? Because no ship can go near any rock that near, because no rock is that steep to give that much draft for the ship. And this was just like this in front. I said, what sort of a rock is this? This is rock of Gibraltar. I was looking at it, absolutely a solid piece, you see. And you thought it is going to hit you on your head. Something like that human beings become. How can you feel the auspiciousness? It's a very sensitive thing. Extremely sensitive and delicate. All the delicacy of the heart, I don't know where it is gone. Like Lord Byron style. Look at him, what a life he had. He made everyone miserable in his private life. And in his poetry he made everybody cry. Took out their eyes, washed them again, put them back in the sockets. I mean, he was a very great sadist, I felt. Horrible. He could not write anything beautiful. He could not see anything beautiful. He could not say anything that was pleasant. And people I have seen have wept and wept and wept. And this fellow was enjoying having a nice time somewhere. It's nice you laugh it out. Because we had two patients who read only Lord Byron and were gone cases. You don't know, in England I get such cases, some samples. He's no more here, so I can tell you about him. He used to just weep and weep and weep. And then we didn't do anything with him here, we couldn't do much. I told him, why are you weeping? You see, and then I discovered he was a patient created by Lord Byron. I told him not to take this poet very seriously, and forget about it. He was just doing it to sell his books. But the fellow couldn't get rid of it. You see, he always used to get into that mood, and very serious mood and this and that. Then we sent him home. I sent some Sahaja Yogis to his mother and father. Very nice people, I must say. They talked to me on the phone. Very good people. They said, Mother, if you say we'll keep him in the house, he's a big man. He's a big man, about 30 years of age, you know. And third day the mother said, I better chuck him out of the house, Mother. I said, why? Where will he go? He said, he's still doing the same thing. He's in the room. I have to serve him food. I have to wash his things. And he's just sitting and weeping. So, because, you see, the sensitivity is lost. Whom are you giving your heart? To this Lord Byron, of all the persons? This is the problem with us. We do not know who's auspicious. For example, Blake, people won't like. I mean, the one who is the poet you have, really, I would say, after Shakespeare. I wonder if Shakespeare was one man or many people put together. But Blake was the poet you had, the greatest of all, I would say. There were so many, also others. Wordsworth was another. You can see those who talk of charming things, of pleasant things and beautiful things are the poets. Not these garbage cleaners. What is wrong with us that we cannot make out between the stink and the fragrance? Auspiciousness is the way we emit our fragrance to others. For example, the other day, two boys got realization and all the Sahaja Yogis ran to just to feel their vibrations. And the rest were left behind because they were enjoying the person, the vibrations of that person. Then I shouted at them, I said, all right, now you have enjoyed, now go and see others also are there. And they would not go near somebody, you see, who was thinking he was a great man sitting down there. Nobody would go near them. They were holding their ears, sitting here, there, everybody avoiding to go to that man. And the fellow must be feeling miserable, I know that, but I went to him and worked it out. But then I found that he was doing something very, very wrong himself. And he said, Mother, I am not evil. I said, no, it's not evil, but whatever you have done is evil. Is to play into the spirits, call them down, put on people, and this is evil thing to do. I did not know, Mother. I said, all right, that's all right. If you did not know, it can be forgiven. But this is what auspiciousness is, that you feel it from your heart, which is awakened. The heart must be awakened. In the heart resides the spirit, which is not yet flowing in our consciousness, in our central nervous system. It resides there. The joy itself. I don't know if you have ever seen phosphorus taken out of the water and how it just gets ignited. It's like that inside the Maya, the illusion, that spark is sitting. And when this Kundalini rises and touches that spark, it starts emitting its joy, its auspiciousness. Unless and until you have that within you, you cannot feel the auspiciousness of others. Take a coconut, for example. Put it the other way around, you won't get vibrations. If you put it this way, the coconut coming up, you'll get more vibrations. There are certain coconuts who give you very good vibrations, some give horrible ones. And you know, human beings also have coconuts. Some of the coconuts give such beautiful vibrations, and some of them do not. Some of them are tired. Some of them are nothing but like a balloon of Mr. Ego. Or some of them have nothing but superego in them. So this coconut is to be made auspicious. Now, how it is connected with spirit? That is a very important one. How our brain is connected with spirit. Whatever I am telling you, you need not believe me. But you will find it out for yourself, that whatever I am saying is the truth. Your heart has the spirit, the light, and the heart has got 7 auras around it. And these 7 auras get enlightened by the spirit. But before that, it's a very instantaneous, or we can say a simultaneous happening. When the Kundalini rises, there are 7 centers also in our brain, in the sense there are the seats of the centers. These 7 centers are represented again on the seat. You know that very well. All the Sahaja Yogis know where they are. So when these centers are enlightened, the auras start shining in the heart. And this center is actually the center seat of the spirit. The spirit has moved from there and has gone to the heart. That's why in childhood you'll find there's a opening here. It's a very soft bone called as fontanelle bone. Talu is here. Because the spirit comes out from there and is settled on the heart. You know, spirit also come out in the night sometimes, goes around and sees. It's so. When these centers in our brain get enlightened by Kundalini, one by one, first they are enlightened here, then in the brain, then the auras in the heart start getting enlightened. Ultimately, when this center, which is the center of the heart here, Sahasrara, this point, when this one gets enlightened, then the spirit also gets enlightened fully. And then these auras become doubly shiny. Then the auspiciousness is in many dimensions starts expressing itself. But to keep that light on, one has to keep the Kundalini over here. Then what happens? Then we are ruled by our heart's indication than by our brain. How? Because the heart has the spirit which emits vibration. It is not the brain. And you depend on your vibratory awareness after realization. The more you depend on your vibratory awareness, the more you use your heart, your spirit, not your brain. The more you use your brain, again you go down. Because it is taken over now by the spirit. For example, after realization, when you start thinking about it, people can think of anything. I can tell you, I've had such experiences that they would think that why Mataji is wearing a sari like this. Even to this extent, you see, they can do. But if you can just leave your heart to work it out and don't think, because you are in thoughtless awareness after realization. If you try to maintain that state, pay attention to your heart and let your spirit emit itself, so that it clears out completely the confusion of the brain and everything. Then you'll be amazed that you cannot lose your vibrations. You cannot lose your realization. The simplest way is, we have found this, that after realization, if you go for 7 days treatment with soaking feet before my photograph, it works out. But immediately when I say my photograph finished, the ego comes up. Why her photograph? First thing comes up, who is she? I may be nothing. Alright, I agree, I'm nothing. But I have raised your Kundalini. I have given you realization. I must be something after all. So why worry? I'm not taking away anything from you. Then you start establishing your auspiciousness, the sense of auspiciousness. Once you have established it, then you do not lose it very easily. You don't like then inauspicious things normally. If there's somebody inauspicious, you say, Mother, no, we can't do anything about this gentleman. All right. Afterwards, when you become very strong, you don't mind working on anyone whatsoever. But gradually you have to go up to it. I understand that. But I can't understand people using their rationality to understand Sahaja Yoga. How can you understand this great power with your limited rationality? I can explain to an ant about your politics, but I cannot tell you how this divine power works. One day he asked me, Jamel, numerically, to what extent it goes, to what dimension? And when I told him, he said it is incalculable. I said it is infinite. You cannot calculate. If you put two mirrors facing each other and put some object in between, you cannot calculate how many reflections you will get. Even that you see, but you cannot calculate. But here I am talking about something that does that, which creates this. You cannot calculate all the molecules and the atoms of one element. But I am talking about somebody who has created them. and who in every molecule pulsates. How can you understand with this brain? You can only become one with it and enjoy yourself. Why worry? Why do you want to count the molecules? Why this madness? It would be like a bad man going to the seashore to have a nice bath, starts counting the small little pebbles and the grains of the sand. Get in, enjoy. You become. This is Advaita, where you become one. All religions teach Advaita. Advaita means where there is not the other, Ananya. You become one with that. With the whole ocean you become one. A drop becomes the ocean. All the powers of the oceans are there for the drop. That's what it is. But there are some people who say we believe in Dvaita. No, why? We don't want to get lost. And you are not lost. You become the whole. But they want to keep their small limitations, you see. Now what is that small limitation they want to keep? It's called as Mr. Ego. Which is a myth. Which is a myth. It's such a big myth, is ego. Because what do, human beings? Let's see now. What do? You make a chair, alright. See, people are even proud if they can make a chair these days, because nobody can use their hands these days, you know that. It's everything done by machines. I don't know, they cannot create human beings, otherwise they may try that also. So what do? You create something dead out of dead. Everything is dead. Whatever you have created is dead. Have you done any living work? So one lady got very angry with me. She said, yes, we have created a tube baby. I said, you have not created. It was all there. The life was there. You just brought it together and it worked out that way. It's nothing. It's just like egg being, what do you say that? Egg, they put it in the incubator. It is that simple thing. You have done nothing. You have put life into it. Have you? Let us confess it now. We cannot convert even one flower, transform one flower into a fruit. Let us admit it. So what is this ego then? I do this and I do this. I would like that and I would have this and I. Who is this Mr. I who cannot do one living thing? Just ask yourself. Very simple question. So, to reach a conclusion, it's a myth. We do not do anything. As at many times I have told you that some people going by train put all their luggage on their head. So they said, why are you carrying so much luggage on your head? They said, because we want to reduce the weight of the train. This ego is like that, sitting on your head. I do it. But by brainwashing you, I cannot reduce. How? The myth has to be broken. The myth breaks when Kundalini rises. Then how you talk is a very different language. It is not coming, it is not going, it is it. It becomes a third person. Then your power, which is flowing through your hands, you see that going through your hand, which you are maneuvering. You don't say, I am giving you realization, you don't say. You just say, it is going, it is rising, it is not coming. Even if it is your son, you say, I cannot give now, what to do? Like a lady came with me to America once and she was very anxious that I must give realization to her son and all that. So I told her, look at this. Now you have come all the way, I know, for this purpose. But now if the Kundalini doesn't rise, do you want me to say that he's realized? No, Mataji, I know it doesn't rise. Then I said, you give him a realization. I cannot give him. All right, you try. He said, but it doesn't rise. I said, then what to do? If the Kundalini is not coming up, what can we do about it? So, the Kundalini has to come spontaneously. It's a living process. But after realization, you start doing living things. You can raise the Kundalini. You can pulsate the Kundalini. I don't know about pulsation so far. I have not seen any Sahaja Yogi doing. But you can raise it all right. You can give realization. With my photograph it works better. You can give vibrations now to the plant, to the fruit, or to any flower like this. If it is done, it will come to life. If you give vibrations, say, to a field of, or seeds of, say, wheat, they can be multiplied. They can be 10 times more than what they are. Now you have started giving vibrations to the trees, to people. You are doing the living work. Now you have become the ocean of life. So far you were not. Because the power of life is to give life has come in you. Now you are living. Before this, you were dead. In the sense that you were worshipping a dead God called ego. Now it's a living God within you, is the spirit. Once you start accepting your spirit, all your priorities change just like that. Because spirit is joy and happiness. Spirit is everything. So you start losing all your interest into other things. This is what is, when your auspiciousness is of the greatest height, that even your name can create something great. And photograph can do wonders. If you become auspiciousness, you are the holiest of the holy. For that, you have to get rid of some of the dirt and the dust. You have to get rid of some of the false notions we have and the myths of being. Some people have a myth that they are guilty, and some people, as I told you, have so many myths. But for giving up, this Kundalini works out. You allow her to work it out. That's all. It works. It has worked with so many in England. And I'm very proud of my Sahaja Yogis of India. Anybody asks me, where do you find the best young people? I said, it's in India. That's the truth. They are not racialists, they are not all this nonsense of any fanatics, nothing. Except for druggists and chemists, they are. That also due to mistakes. But that I can correct. But most of them are beautiful people, very sincere, very honest, very good. Because England is the heart of the universe, of the world. Whatever happens in England gets known all over the world. You know, these people had this siege. Today I read in the paper, they were giving an explanation about it. That we did it in England, not because we wanted to kill anybody or anything, but we wanted to talk to British government, so that if anything happens in London, it will be known all over the world. People still think that British are still the sanest people in the West. Still, they think like that, which is the truth. So, we have a very good group of people here. This has to expand. You have to find out more and more who are serious. But don't tell them just now that you have to give up any one of their druggist chemist business. Because if you tell them, then they'll run away. They made a mistake like this. I know that. No, they will just give up. You don't worry. Let them come. Because once they have found it, Even if you tell them, they will not go there. Let them join. Let them come. By your auspiciousness, by your vibrations, as the fragrance of the flower spreads, all the bees start hovering, knowing that there is the scent of the beautiful nectar hidden under these petals. I'm sure all of them will come. And one day, from England, we'll have the real spiritual upsurge for the whole world. May God bless.